Okay, now monohybrid cross, or we call it monohybrid inheritance and the law of segregation. See, in order to trace the inheritance of a single pair, mono means single pair, single pair of contrasting characters or traits. Traits, factor, character, it's one and the same thing when we use here. It's among the pea plants. What Mendel did, first of all, he crossed the purebred pea plants, means the plants which were crossed generation after generation to receive the pure line traits, meaning carrying the same pair of trait. So he selected first of all tall pea plants and crossed them with dwarf pea plants. And here he found that the plants which were formed in the first generation, so we call it F1 generation or the first filial generation. First filial generation, he found that only tall pea plants were produced. No dwarf pea plants were there. From this, he concluded that only one of the parents' characters are shown. It means only the tall characteristics are shown, and the tallness character is the only dominant character which stood up, and the dwarfness did not show up in the first generation. Okay, then he crossed these tall plants. These tall and tall plants of the first generation, that is F1 generation, and found that these tall and dwarf plants are obtained in a ratio of 3:1. 3 tall is to 1 dwarf, in the ratio 3:1. This means in the second filial generation, this was the first generation, this is the second filial generation. That means first generation and the second generation, the ratio of the plants were 3/4 plants were tall and 1/4 were dwarf. But how and what is this? Mendel noted that dwarf pea plants, which seemingly disappeared in the first generation, reappeared in the second generation. It means there is something, that characters are not lost completely. They are concealed or suppressed in the first generation and re-emerged in the second generation. So he called these concealed characters or the repressed traits of dwarfness as recessive trait. Earlier we did not know what is recessive and dominant, but from here we came to know, okay, this one is the recessive trait, and the expressed trait tallness, it is the dominant trait. This means which showed up is the dominant and which remained concealed in the presence of dominant is recessive. So from here he also concluded that no plants of intermediate size or height were spotted. It is either tallness of or dwarfness which is picked up, because the traits of tallness or dwarfness, they have blended in such a way that the recessive trait remained concealed in the F1 generation and only the dominant stood up. From here he concluded that 3:1 ratio is the ratio of a monohybrid cross. That means the 3:1 ratio is the monohybrid ratio. And from here he enabled or formulated his first law of inheritance, which is the law of segregation. What is this law all about? Law of segregation states that the characteristics of an organism, the characteristics being it a tall or a dwarf characteristic, the characteristics of an organism are determined by the internal factors which occur in pairs, and only one of a pair of such factor can be present in a single gamete. Means, as we talk about our 46 chromosomes, we say that the characteristics are determined by the internal factors and only one of a pair of such factor can be present in a single gamete. If we are talking about XX or XY, we say only one of the factor. Okay, one of the pair of the factor can be present in a single gamete, cannot be both. So whatever is present will show its dominance. Alright, this is the law of segregation. Now coming to the explanation and how do we carry out this monohybrid cross. The explanation is, Mendel said that each trait is determined by a pair of factors that we know. Factors. If I am talking about tall and dwarf, and I have come to know that tall is dominant over dwarf, I basically have to assign it a pair of gametes. I am taking capital T as the pair of gametes that will represent tall. I can choose anyone else also. I can use F also. I can choose D also. I can choose P also, but no. These are of no use. Why? Because it will help me to remember to which factor have I assigned this genotype. Okay, I have assigned this pair of gamete or genotypic gamete to this tall factor. So it will help me, using the first initial or the first capital letter will help me to remember that it describes the tall factor. And same way, the small t pair will represent its dwarf. That means the recessive trait of the same. Tall represented by capital T and dwarf represented by small t because these have to be represented in pairs, and this representation is known as genotype. And this appearance tall and dwarf is known as phenotype or the phenotypic expression. This is the genotypic expression. Okay, now we are using these phenotype and genotypes for the cross. Here, the factor of inheritance of tallness will separate into two gametes, capital T, and dwarfness will separate into two other gametes, small t and small t. How? It will go like this. Now we have chosen parent phenotype and genotype. It is tall crossing with dwarf, and genotype will remain capital T, and for dwarf it is small t and small t. And as per, we have to separate them as gametes. Okay. Once this is done, the gametes of the tall pea plant now will cross with the gametes of the dwarf pea plant by the process of fertilization to form a zygote. And what will happen? See, this will happen. These will fertilize to give rise to this combination, and these will fertilize to give rise to this combination. Okay, and here we will write F1 generation. Remember, first filial generation. So the F1 generation possesses one factor of inheritance from each parent plant which were carried in gametes. What it carries? it possesses one factor of inheritance from each parent, which is in the form of gametes. This is one factor from each parent, one factor from each parent to form this hybrid, and this hybrid is depicted as tall. Why? Because we know the capital one is dominant and the recessive one is, this small one is recessive. So whenever dominant is present, the recessive never shows itself in the presence of a dominant trait. So here all plants are tall, or we write all tall plants devoid of their genotype. Genotype says it's capital T and small t, but phenotype says it's tall. Now, F1 generation shows that the progeny plants, they have factors capital T and small t. Capital T is the factor for tallness and is a dominant trait. So, the factors, all the gametes, all the plants which have the factor capital T, at least a capital T, along with a capital T or with a small t, they are considered tall. Therefore, all of them are tall. As small t represents dwarfness, which will not show up in the first generation, as it is in the presence of a dominant allele, capital T, therefore it will not show up. Now moving to the next generation, that is the F2 generation. We know that all F1 generation gametes, the ones which are produced here, are now undergo self-fertilization. These are crossbred with each other. That means capital T small t into capital T small t. This happens in F2 generation, and here also we segregate their gametes. I am writing that this capital T and small t is segregated and this capital T and small t is segregated. Now we have to pair them up. These are paired because as the process says that one factor of inheritance from each parent will be carried with the other. Capital T, capital T, same way. Capital T will come first now and then followed by a small recessive, then capital T and a small one recessive and a small t or a small t, right? What have we got? As per the F2 generation, the F2 ratio is to be calculated. That what is the resultant? The resultant says capital T, capital T, capital T, small t, capital T, small t and small t, small t. This one, this one, this one. All three are tall. And this one particularly is dwarf. So we have 3 tall is to 1 dwarf. Clear? We can see from the above depiction that the pea plants produced the inheritance factors of capital T, capital T, small t, capital T, small t and small t, small t. These 3 genotypes, they are containing the factor capital T, which stands for tallness and is dominant. So all 3 are considered tall, and small t is considered a dwarf plant. Please make sure, this you have to keep in mind, that a single copy of factor T is enough to make a plant tall, and both the copies of factor small t are necessary to make it a dwarf plant. A single copy of capital T is enough to make it tall. This one enough to make it tall, and both together will make it dwarf. Both the copies of the recessive factor will make it a dwarf plant. And this one is the phenotypic ratio, because phenotypic is appearance. Appearance wise all three are tall. But if I go for genotypic ratio, then I have capital T, capital T, capital T small t, capital T small t, and small t small t. 1:2:1. Okay, this is 1:2:1. It means 1 completely tall, 2 hybrid tall, heterozygous tall, and this one dwarf. 1 homozygous. Homo means having the same gametes. 1 homozygous, 2 heterozygous tall, and 1 dwarf. This is the genotypic ratio. Hence, whenever Mendel he concluded his experiments, he gave us two ratios. One is Mendel's phenotypic ratio for the monohybrid cross, and another one is the genotypic ratio. Phenotypic says it is 3:1, and genotypic says it's 1:2:1. Understood?